Alrighty. Well, I know we always talk behind the scenes, and it's kind of nice to have this now kind of open and public. But yeah, thanks for showing up, guys. I figure everybody here already knows who I am, and who Stags is, and Henry, and mostly everybody in this part of the community, anyways. But yeah, do you guys want to do just an introduction real
Yeah,
quick?
I'll jump through things, PJ, and just even get you guys talking about what you're doing. But
Yep.
obviously, you guys, I've been in the crypto corner and been in this group from day one, and I've also been a part of CM's group with Jimmy and CM Top Dog. And like Jimmy said, behind the scenes, we've sort of been working on some partnerships and cool projects. And finally, time to introduce them to you guys. And before we get to what we've been working on, CM, like you introduce yourself and how long you've been doing the crypto thing.
Yeah, sure. Thanks very much. Yeah, so my story is probably one that a lot of people's paths have followed. I got into crypto about 2014, 15, and it was always like, Bitcoin's done quite well. What can I do to sort of make my crypto journey as good as all the guys that have held Bitcoin since the early inception days? So I sort of started off, at a kind of small WhatsApp group, then I moved into YouTube. Now it's a website, Twitter, Discord, all of that, and really it's just built up from there. And without going into sort of too much detail on everything, which I will go in a bit as we talk through everything, it's really just always been about trying to improve and have people follow my path, which was, a very humble beginning of very low capital into a situation where crypto can improve your life financially and with that health and happiness and everything else around you.
Jimmy, you want to touch base on quick bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I've come through. I've been in crypto a little bit less time than CM. I came through more of an entrepreneurial route. Founded a startup, ground out many hours a day, building up a company, and sold that. And in 2018, I was refreshing myself on investing, I guess, and obviously felt like I'd missed the boat with crypto, so focused on property, but continued to just follow everything just to look for the opportunities, and was quite lucky that right around the March crash in the COVID crash was when I made some significant purchases in crypto, and then started taking it a little bit more serious. And then from there, it's like most things with me, it's become a bit of an obsession. So, been a part of CM's group for nearly two years now, and started out, I guess, just being a bit of a lurker. And then as the community started to reveal itself, realised that it seemed to be the group that I'd always sort of jump back to just for a bit of banter and having a bit of laugh with the boys. And I noticed some opportunities, so Sam and I hooked up and chatted things through, and I've just been helping CM to build the community, structure the opportunities, set up the infrastructure behind the scenes, and yeah, then we come to now. We're very much aligned with Crypto Monks, which I think you'll hear, and Zeke's been a pivotal part in connecting the communities and a bunch of other communities as well. So we're excited to tell you a bit about what we do, and then about what we're doing with you guys as well.
All right. Well, why don't we, you and CM can go over a little bit of what's in our server with the wellness group, the trading tools that we've been building, and then maybe we'll have yourself and PJ Jimmy talk about a little bit what we've been working on behind the scenes on the other projects.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give a quick bit of background because the server and everything that Jimmy and Zeke have helped me with, and a whole host of other guys, has really improved everything over the last 12 months. And initially my strategy within crypto was, how do I turn minimal capital investment into large gains? So just to highlight, within crypto, many lows on the way, but it was always about trying to find what the next phase and cycle in crypto was. So with Ethereum doing well, I thought, right, if there's other layer ones with good tech, I'd seen things like Zilliqa. A lot of people early in the group, 2018, 2019, got 100x gains on things like Zilliqa. Then we anticipated the NFT wave before it happened. So projects like Ecomi, Omi, the ones that sell all those Batman and Superman NFTs. A lot of people were buying Batman NFTs at $60. They ended up being worth $20,000. The coin itself went up 200x in value, and even other funny things like, there's going to be a dog hype wave. So I actually called my dog Floki before Elon Musk, and with that, people got good hits on the Floki meme coin, Dogecoin, things like that as well. And then we've seen some potential in layer twos. So more recently, last year, the end of last year, seen that Metis coin got, I think, almost a whole group in that. Around about $6 to $10. It went on to run to over $300. But with that, obviously identified we need to improve this. We need to teach people and build the tools that help people retain this profit, improve their risk management. So that's when a lot of these guys in the group have sort of stood up and helped me do this. And we will talk about this in a moment, the things that have been built. But really, it's always been about giving it a chance for people that are new in crypto to make some good runs. And one of the best stories I had was actually my first $1,000 to $100,000 challenge, which was a success. And funnily enough, if people had held Metis to the top, it would have been a $1,000 to a $1 million challenge completion. Now, just to clarify, we did try this a second time and it did fail, but 99 steps forward and 1 step back is not the worst result in the world. But I think now we can probably go on and mention some of the key things that we've definitely worked on to build. What about you, Zeke? What do you think the sort of the
Yeah, I
bigger
think
things that have been built?
I know stuff I've shared with you guys is like the portfolio building and stuff like that when I've been on with PJ or jumped into the crypto corner.
Yeah,
But
it's like one of my. Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I love it when you come in and actually did that because it was a whole other aspect that we weren't even thinking about. That Zeke was like, "Yo, straight up, like, here's how you do this." Bing, bang, bomb. Came in, knocked it out for an entire hour, and it was just perfect. And it matched the right level of audience in here. So it was just it was great.
And for this community, I'll be in a lot more come the end of September. I pretty much golf all summer. I'm Canadian, so when the weather is nice, I abuse it all I can, and then I'm back at the computer in about 4 or 5 weeks. But Jimmy, I'll let you touch on some of the tools and the health and wellness stuff that we're doing in CM's group, and then you and PJ can talk about the other project that you guys have been working on.
Yeah, sure. So coming from a Patreon group where there isn't too much communication with each other, when we started the Discord server, it was just sort of one channel, and it was fun, but not very organized. But very quickly it evolved into a very organized space with areas for different subject matter experts from the group to curate the different categories. And what I noticed, and like other sort of people that contribute a lot in the original chats, the original group, was that there was a big range of skill sets and experience within crypto. I found myself helping many people, which I like doing. That's actually a bit of a passion. It gives me the feels. But I realized like I couldn't really do it all in that fashion. So we worked together to build a lot of education material and on a lot of different areas within crypto. So I mean, like TA is obviously the one that everyone wants to learn about. We've got different space for NFTs, for gaming, for airdrops, which is a very popular one that we have at the moment. Oh, sorry, that we've got a group that we call the Airdrop Cartel that's are just absolute gurus from that, which have a very interesting origin story, but maybe that's for a different conversation. One thing I'll just offer straight away there. So one thing that we've built a community TA course that actually runs through a separate server. So I'm happy to drop the link, and if the monks want to post that, like that's a that's just
drop it. Put it in the Where's which one's the text chat channel? Yeah, the VC text chat channel.
I'll give it to Zeke.
Give it to Zeke. I could post it for you too. It's not a problem if you just send it to me. I'll drop it.
Yeah. So then from there, the progression. So that was kind of the education. We set up like a ticket system so people can have, some people don't like openly chatting about where they're at in crypto and may feel a bit overwhelmed with the high level conversation that's going on. In the server that can help them with, it's surprising the level of help that is needed sometimes, but it's really good that we give it and that it's a safe space for people to be able to do that and be able to ask questions, because some of the questions, takes you back to when you were new in crypto. Like you forget how unintuitive crypto is at the moment. Like there's still a lot of efficiencies to be built into crypto, which obviously speak to when it gets to mainstream. But so we've set up that section there, and a more recent one addition has been a wellness section that we've put together for people. We've got dedicated people to talk to. So a bit of bad shit that's happened in the last few months in the market. I'm sure your server's the same. You hear sort of stories of people that aren't in a good place. So we've got some people that are qualified, but they're not used as qualified. It's just like not financial advice, I guess, but that can that know what to do when people come with certain issues. And we've got another system there where people can have a private conversation, or they're welcome to share in the wellness group. But it's not just mental health, I guess. We're working on actual like physical health. Like we're working to try to make the community sort of have so that the wealthy, obviously, that's what people are coming in for. But healthy and wise are important as well. And we've got some gamified wellness projects coming up soon that hopefully will get the community members to not only sign up but also keep each other accountable and keep each other involved through to the end, so we can sort of have that whole the whole package, because we want to look after everyone that's in there. But yeah, so from education, we've obviously we identify people within the group. People either jump in the group or are in the group and become active when something sparks their interest. You guys are the same. You've got a bunch of different channels. Like when I say you guys, I'm also a monks holder, and I'm more of a lurker in your server. But I'm in there quite often, and I sort of keep an eye on what's going on and try to keep up. So yeah, the people identify themselves, have ideas of what they want to do. We support that. So we try to have a structure in place where people can float their ideas. If they want to try to develop that, then we have other people like myself that can help to incubate those ideas, I guess, and see if we can come up with something where the person who has the idea, if it's something that does actually work out when we model it, they can set themselves up to be like a skilled participant, but the community can still be involved, and sort of the community benefits and also the person or people benefit commensurately. So one of those that we've got, or two actually, I'll start with we've got a spin-off called Big Dog Labs, which is a group of TA obsessed guys that are working on some indicators and alerts and bot trading that's available for the top tier members of our group. And we also have another tool which we've called like Airdrop Cartel, which is so we have all the information about, pretty much as an aggregator of all the different airdrop information written up by the guys that are in the Airdrop Cartel and done step by step, so everyone can follow along, and they'll work out the optimal path for funds for say qualifying for an airdrop. Safe bridges, safe dexes that may be on like a brand new chain, like I think Evmos, as an example, it's on top of my head. It's obviously not a very recent one. And then we've taken that to another level where the guys have come up with a pool system where there's financial contributors and then there's like skilled participants that actually generate the value, and then the benefits obviously split amongst those that are participating. So
yeah, I think that was one of our cooler programs that these guys set up. So basically, there's some pre-sale stuff that we'll talk to you guys about at the end, and that we've done together. But the airdrop cartel, basically, if you don't have the time, say you're working full time, basically, we just put a contribution into a pool. These guys will run it, they dump it, and you just get USDC or USDT back at the end. So it basically saves you the steps, but they also have a channel where they put all the steps up. So if you want to do it yourself and increase the money you're going to get from the airdrops, you could at the time contribute to the pool or follow their steps and do it yourself, and do the best you can to get as much as you can out of these airdrops.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
the
definitely.
name's
And there's
I like the name too, Airdrop Cartel.
yeah,
Yeah,
and there's actually a bit of
that's
a
been so
game of-
successful, hasn't it? Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but that they hit the Optimism airdrop, the recent one, which I think the minimum token your wallet would get was about 700 Optimism. So when it went in that run to $2 recently, it's like $1,400. So there's people following the posts in the group, that these guys work hard to push out, and then all of a sudden it gets dropped and people are happy, suddenly that the crypto bag's looking a bit healthier out of nowhere.
Oh
Yeah,
hell yeah!
the-
Optimism was a good one.
It's yeah. So I mean, we like so the descriptions they gave is the front end version. It's a hell of a lot more like complex on the back end to make sure there's all appropriate risk management and like strategies for selling tokens and making sure like everything isn't like everything's separate and secure. But yeah, so that has been a very successful one. I'll jump back actually to so one of the things kind of not selfishly by me, but like something I recognize, I guess, was with the group that we did have a lot of different talents, and I'd found myself like you kind of want to be in everything in crypto, but you can't do it all yourself. So what we're kind of working towards at the moment, and it's kind of something I guess selfishly is what I love to have is so I have certain areas of expertise that I'm better to focus on instead of trying to do everything. But the community initiatives that we set up to give people that exposure without having to follow along 100%. But anyone that finds their calling, like maybe they want to be an airdrop hunter or something like that, or be participate in that, then they have the opportunity to not only follow along, they can actually be trained by the guys. So we actually have a special channel for that, which you basically work your way up through the cartel. I think it's associate. I don't know what's next. Can't remember what the next one is, and then the last one's like Sicario, and then you're part of the actual cartel. So we just try to make it fun, I guess, as well, but useful. And also then just back to the Big Dog Labs. So the core of the group, like what brought pretty much everyone in initially, was obviously CM's gem calls, which worked out very well for a lot of us. The hard part, I guess, is so once the information is presented for people to review and jump in if that's what they want to do, then the question that was asked a lot, and was asked a lot of me, I guess, as well, was like when to like exit a position. And I'm definitely not one to give financial advice. Like I'm just there to help. I'm literally just there to give back to the community. So that is what the Big Dog Labs sort of grew out of. So it was and a TA section that we have in the server as well. So it was to help people to understand like entry and exit. So TA is obviously trading, but it also does help you to understand trends and like when's a good time to enter or exit a position instead of just aping in, aping out. So it's been a very useful one, I find. Like if there's ever any questions, like people just direct them to TA, and the boys are always just posting their thoughts and posting charts, and everyone's chatting and sharing their TA. And then we've got the gurus in there that obviously are the ones that post in the curated channels. So that's been really helpful. And then we have upcoming other community based programs that like we design them. We have infrastructure that's built by like Big Dog Labs, which we'll get to, but that is something like these aren't just exclusively for our server. We're happy to like share the opportunities, either run them or share the way that they work, and have other communities run them as well. So obviously CryptoMonks, with all the stuff that we're working on behind the scenes, that's definitely something that is available to you guys as well. So keep an eye out for that sort of stuff as it comes. But yeah, so I guess that's a long-winded answer to your question, to the question, Zeke. Where
Yeah,
should we
that's
take
a
it?
good overview of what we got. And then I'll leave it up to you guys. CM, do you want to go over either a bit of our pre-sale platform first, or Jimmy and PJ, do you guys want to talk about what you guys have been working on with a couple layer ones and projects in the background?
Yes. So what
Okay,
you want?
that way.
Yeah,
PJ takes the
sorry.
lead.
No, Jimmy, you want me to just kind of introduce what you and I have been working on behind the scenes, and I can just kind of give an overview as to how this works, if you don't mind. Right? Let me take a shot at it. Right?
Yeah, go.
Uh,
No, mate.
yeah, like actually trying this out for the first time. But basically, we have an opportunity right now to work with Metis, and I'll let Jimmy explain who Metis is. But we spend, both of our communities actually spend a lot of time focusing on APR-driven products, right? So what this really means is basically providing liquidity to a market to make markets available for trading. And Metis is looking to launch an exchange and to tokenize this exchange, very similar to how all of the products that we've used and gone over. It's basically that exact model, right? And so, being as it is, that means that we have an opportunity to do some real market making and act as a real, a unit, like a unified group towards basically providing liquidity and making positions for tokens, primary tokens, basically all the big ones, which would be like USDC, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and any other specific chain tokens that we want to provide, or ecosystem tokens. But yeah, basically join together and be the first offering to provide liquidity in those markets and to capitalize on the amount of capital that'll probably transfer in and out as the markets are made. So, Jimmy, did you want to talk a little bit about who Metis is and how important the role is of? Okay.
Yeah, I might let Sam. Do you want to do an intro on Metis, and I'll I guess give an overview of why they're looking and why they've come to us looking for a native DEX. And yep, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we came into Metis, I think August last year, bottomed out chart. We seen the potential in layer twos. Vitalik was putting out all the tweets about, Ethereum is not going to be faster or cheaper for a while yet. So we thought, right, okay, Polygon has done pretty well. This Metis looks quite good. So we had to look at the technical side of it, as the cheapest and the fastest. We've seen the growth and optimism and soon Arbitrum and things like that. And with Metis, we got a lot of people in really early, and because the team were so engaging with us and happy to really assist us with any questions they had, it allowed us to build this huge community of Metis advocates. Obviously everyone's happy because the coin's riding high, but the team kept delivering in terms of development and what they're looking to build. So it's just a layer 2 scaling solution in which is cheaper transactional costs. And when you compare it to what's currently out there, it does appear to still be the best. So with that and how sort of reliable their team is and some of the other connections they've got in crypto, they look very, very solid. And I think with what we've seen with the likes of the Optimism launches, as soon as people in crypto think, whoa, that this layer 2 is the best one out, the volume that goes into it is insane. Without thinking of a better descriptive word, it is just insane. And Meaties is on the cusp of this, and if something that can be built like what you're offering here is going to improve that as a chain and accessibility to other coins, it's a massive opportunity, and that's exactly what you're hoping to do here.
Yeah. So yeah, that's right. So like the benefit, I guess, or one of the many, is that we do the CM Top Dog community do tend to get involved in projects early, and we do sort of sling quite an active, engaged community across from our community into theirs. So the good part about that is that sets us up fairly early to have access to the higher up people, I guess, in projects. So it's good to get that position before they sort of take off and get a little bit too big. So it gives us the ability to not only have direct and useful information, but it also just gives us like opportunities that are presented to us that maybe other people don't hear about, or maybe it'll just be floated out in general conversation, or maybe it's in like a community group that's set up for, that's maybe kind of exclusive. But once we get that information, or someone comes to us, we'll try to piece it together and see what we can do with it. So the background of why they want a native DEX, so they do have native DEXs at the moment. Unfortunately, both were kind of launched maybe with not the greatest tokenomics, but they've recently integrated Chainlink on Metis, and the big boys are coming to play. So SushiSwap's just been launched over there, and there are others coming. But what they want to foster is a native ecosystem of projects, and so with that, they've sort of floated to us exactly what they're looking for, and we have the opportunity to build that for them. And obviously, we have a few points of difference that maybe we'll get to. PJ, I guess I'm not sure what you want to release out of that, but that it just gives us a really good opportunity and a big leg up to get the support of a good team with Metis, and obviously some backing as well to get something up that we can actually use as our communities to I guess take the leg up and
Basically
not be
front run the
speculators.
ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just going to say though, but usually they provide support, right? Which is interpreted a couple different ways. And so when we're making liquidity available on these markets, obviously we want to be as close to those markets when they're launching. And this is also just another great opportunity for us to kind of display, how capable we are as a community to come together. So I'm looking forward to it. We've actually done, we've spent a fair amount of work just kind of piecing everything together behind the scenes, but I'm glad to see it pushing forward.
Yeah, a bit of work to do, but we'll get there. We'll keep working on it and get that sorted pretty quick. We have obviously some time-based milestones that if we can reach. There are big opportunities as well. I don't know, Sam, do you want to talk of OL, or might slot that in?
Yeah, I think, you know what, we'll tie that in together. So I know we just put it up in Crypto Corner, but maybe after this we can put it in the main announcements. It's the first joint pre-sale that we're doing with you guys. I know some of you took a look at it earlier, but no one really knew a lot about the token. So it's another, it would be considered, I guess, a layer 1 ACM.
No, it is an L2, but sorry.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Sorry, what I was talking about was OL, which is a Move programming language based L1. But were you talking about Obscuro?
I was going to say, let's put Obscuro first, and then we'll finish on OL.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, that'll probably tie it back well, actually, because the OL ties back into the DEX.
Yeah, exactly. So there's many different types of people in crypto, but one of the pain points we noticed in crypto was that you find these great coins and you think you've got a good entry price, but guess what? The people involved in the pre-sale right at the very beginning, they're doing even better than you. So I worked really hard over the last few months to develop those connections and relationships and try and start getting myself into some of these. Now, we do get sent a whole load of rubbish, and we have a team and do our best to carefully analyze everything that gets thrown at us, or even some of them are our own leads. The the current one that we're running called Obscuro is a layer 2 privacy chain. So that this is particularly a big deal at the moment as we're seeing large financial entities move into this side of things. And Obscuro is basically going to resolve a lot of the issues with what we're seeing in privacy and in crypto at the moment. And things like MEV is going to resolve a lot of these issues. So with this offering, it actually stems from R3 Corda, who initially had set up a sort of side project with a group of their devs, build us something here, and they are now doing an official token offering for this. So it's a big opportunity because of who we think R3 are connected with, organizations like NASDAQ, MasterCard. But the best thing for people that can get involved in this is it's at pre-sale level, seed level, seed investment level. So you stick in whatever you feel comfortable with, and you can ride this with the group as a seed investor. But there's a whole even more detailed breakdown when we do these pre-sale offerings. I give my own view on it. We also offer the pitch deck up, the white paper, the tokenomics breakdown, so people can get a full understanding. And it's just a way to another. That's what crypto's about, isn't it? It's just having many different opportunities on the go at once. And obviously, at the peak of the bull market is great. Everything's going well, but in times like this, you're looking for those other little opportunities, and that this is certainly just another one of those.
Yeah, and if you guys, I don't know if any of you guys have looked at the Obscuro link left, if you see where some of the guys on that team came from, like you're looking at Goldman Sachs guys, you're looking at big bank money coming in. So you're not getting a team that just showed up by the seat of their pants. These guys are connected to big money and they're going after big money. So it's not just a hey, we want to make a token, get into crypto, and hope somebody comes with us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and our relationship with them as well, we have actually had contribution to the point of them adjusting and amending their entire tokenomic structure and things like that as well. So not only are we sort of helping raise for them, we've actually got a really good relationship with them as well.
So then we'll go from that as the pre-sale, which again we'll share that with you guys in the announcements. And do we have the sharing channels in both Discords now? Like I know we have the Monks one in ours. Is the CM one in yours now, guys, too?
Stacks, is that it is set up, right? Or
Right.
were we able to get it out of your guys' server actually? I thought it was also
Oh, we put some. So it is. So the CM Top Dog server is does have a paywall, but what we've done is we've sat a channel outside of
updates.
the paywall, so we can give you. Yeah, I think it's updates. So just check there's a follow. If not, I'll change the time. Yeah, but so we'll curate things and be able to like work with you guys to see what you guys would like, and we'll curate that to make sure you're getting plenty of information for everyone, even if you're not becoming a member of the server of the CM Top Dog server.
Helpful. Yeah, super helpful.
All right, and then we'll go into OL. Sam, if you want to just touch base on the OL stuff, and then Jimmy and DJ can finish it up.
Yeah, for sure.
I might just touch on Obscuro just briefly. So so it is a privacy L2, but it has been when you see where it's been spun out of. So if you look at things like R3, like the letter R number 3.com, you'll see that who they've worked with, and you'll realize that obviously it's built with regulation in mind, which is pretty important when you sort of look at the recent events with Tornado Cash. Yeah, so that is important that they are considering that, especially being a privacy chain, and have the ability to pull that off and have the backing to be able to keep up with that. And also, just another one, they did just open up their forms for access to their testnet. They had, I think it was over 18,000 people sign up. So I don't think there's any shortage of demand for that. So just a couple of
Damn,
interesting points.
18
Sorry, Zeke.
No, touching on that, Jimmy. How much room do we have left in that pool? I know it was starting to climb up pretty close to full.
Yeah.
Last I looked at it was over 200K. I think of the 300 allotment we have.
Just So we've got
Still in that clip?
300K, and it's there's 237s filled, so there is still a bit of room, but it'll be filled probably the next day or two, I'd imagine.
And what were the monks allotments? 7 or 5? I forget. What did you set that at for them?
I saw it written as 5, but I'm just in there at the moment in your pool, and it's actually 7. So
I was gonna say I think it's 7 in the pool as well. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you guys are looking to if you do read over the project and you like it, you guys can invest up to $700 in that pre-sale. But what's our low? Like 50 or 100? Like what's the low on that too, Jimmy? They don't have to go up to their max.
Yeah, no. So it's a $100 minimum, and then the max is set at 700. Obviously, our members have a bigger allocation, and the big thing with Big Dog Cap is we're trying to get access to very good projects, and then provide that to our community, but not in like little tiny chunks like the the launch pads and a few other ones that you've got 50 grand of bloody launch pad tokens to get a $200 allocation or something like that. So we do have some pretty healthy tiers. I think the biggest tier that can be entered at the moment, we do have a closed one for the founders of like the founding group. So founders, like it's a community thing, but for the CM Top Dog Big Dog role, you can contribute up to 5 grand. So they're pretty healthy allocations that are available.
Yeah, it beats the 150 to 250 get on PokeStarter, put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up with OL. CM, you can talk a little bit about OL, and then Jimmy and PJ can wrap it up with what they're doing with them.
Yeah, thank you. So, this is just something I came across in my sort of deep web searching. I'd noticed, people will know quite a bit of the background. Facebook were building this global stablecoin Libra, and I thought, where is this? Where's all this development? Where's all this tech that's been built? Where's this going to go? We noticed this is sort of migrated into this sort of Move programming language, and with OL, what we noticed is a ethically strong team. So it's got no pre-mine, but people that do join now can mine this off of their own computer. But what we seen with an opportunity with it was that they would allow us to run some validator slots. Now this is not simple to do because it's all brand new and highly complex. So a further opportunity out of it is we're running some community-based validators, in which hopefully anyone is able to contribute to very, very shortly. And this could be a huge opportunity for people, because what we're seeing with this Move programming language is the actual initial sort of tech package, if you want to call it that Facebook developed. They sold that off to a company called Silvergate for $182 million. You've got an organization called Aptos building this same technology as OL. They have just done funding round.
Aptos is huge,
It totals now $300 million they've brought in.
350, I think.
Is it 300?
Not to pick at pennies. But
it was just big news like just a couple weeks ago.
It's huge.
And the first round,
the Aptos story goes deep. You've got the Glazer family, the billionaires that own all these sports organizations. They were originally trying to invest in this, and they've actually now got a lawsuit with Aptos because Aptos went elsewhere to get their $350 million. So what we're seeing is this is clearly a big deal, this technology. And in theory, without knowing the full background of it, it's meant to front run anything that currently exists in layer 1 technology and crypto. And that's why this type of cash is being thrown around at the moment. But what OL is basically some undoxed guys that we know have got a bit of a background. They're connected to well-known people like Zaki Manian of Cosmos.
Yeah, he's actually involved, Sam. He's not.
He's a co-founder.
Involved.
He's a co-founder of OL. So big names like that involved, you can kind of trust their judgment within the market and within crypto and blockchain. But what OL are doing is allowing basically anyone to get involved in here at the start, whether it be development or the mining of coins. And this is where Monks comes in importantly here, because you guys are so tech heavy, you understand things, and you can hopefully help build some things for these guys, which of course then moves on into the community involvement further. So OL is another one of these sort of, you do a bit of research on the internet and you come across these things that not many people seem to know about. So that is another big deal for us as well. We're hoping that when this goes live, and I think, Jimmy, I think that the last update we had, they were looking at maybe end of August or September for trying to get a sort of market value on it, so that there's still an opportunity at the moment to try and get involved in this before everyone knows about it. Because if people see Aptos bringing in $300 million of investment, there will be a lot of interest in something like this that's basically a non-pre-mine fair launch.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, anyone. I've just shared a link with Zeke. I think he just said he dropped it for you guys, but anyone can jump in and just mine on your laptop, let's say. But we did ask, didn't we, about like the value. They don't want to talk about value. That's not what they're about. But the way they phrased it was, well, I mean, Aptos is valued at $2 billion, Sui $1 billion. So, you know, yeah. So look, there is the opportunity that it could be worth something, but it's another example of where being early and contributing as part of communities has additional benefits. So we do have validators, we do have community validators that we run on behalf of the CM Top Dog community, which they will be airdropped to our community members once there is a market for them. But then on top of that, we're actually working on a validator proposal to get more validators for anyone else that wants to run them, but also like a training program, and we're writing some scripts to make it like 20 steps down to 10. And then we have validator gurus that will help people who are interested in running a node, running validators, that sort of stuff, but maybe don't have that knowledge at the moment to have that support. So I'll once we've got the final approval, I'll share that with Stags and Zeke and PJ. And if you guys want to be involved, set up your own one, set up your own group, we can help you guys to be involved with that. But the real benefit of being early is, I guess, random opportunities present themselves, and knowing, I guess, a lot of people means that hopefully those opportunities can be actioned. So an opportunity that sort of links into what PJ and I were talking about earlier about the DEX is because of OL's ethos, I call it, they aren't able to pay market makers, and we all know what happens if you just release a token and dump some or let the community, create a pool. It does need to be managed. You definitely need a market maker. So that's actually an opportunity that we have, is to look after their market making on like once the bridge is opened and people can bridge the tokens they've mined and off of OL. So that's something that hopefully that the Monks and CM Top Dog communities can like jointly benefit from massively.
Absolutely. And that's definitely the hope here, is that these communities begin to, share opportunity, right? I think that's really one of the biggest principles here. And we've all kind of seen this now. It's like we are like our own little venture capital / opportunistic funds, right? And, a lot of this is, I would just say, there was a term I wanted to use and now I can't remember it, but it's knitting and purling, right? Like that's what a lot of this is. So, the thing about OL, it's Open Libra, right? That's the term. So it was designed. I mean, Facebook dumped so much money into this thing to make basically the world's most performant stablecoin, right? Across any asset types. They're thinking globally because they have a global market. So that's why they developed this, and they did so much with it, but they got so much heat from the Fed and from everybody else that they just were up against the wall. And I remember the original girl who was the project manager there. I had talked to her quite a bit. And then her predecessor too, I had also met a few times. But they could just never get the government just didn't want Facebook to be the people monopolizing this. You know what I mean? They knew they had the ability to be a global currency basically with the snap of a finger. And the fact of the matter is the tech is actually really fucking good. It's really good. So, it scales, and this is all built on them knowing how to scale things, obviously. So, but yeah, so I mean, again, um, I'm hoping, realistically that we're doing a lot of these interactions and that this community and audience will continue to grow every time that we come and do updates on the progress of these things. So I know, this is very initial and we're still trying to kind of let the ink dry on all the stuff that we've decided to do. You guys have been a part of some of the stuff that we have going on behind the scenes, which has been great. And obviously I love having conversations about what's happening. I know I'm always kind of a blocker on some of the stuff, but I apologize. I do my best, but I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to really start nailing down some of these opportunities. And yeah, I think again, as you guys know too, we have to be very specific about who we work with and what we're trying to do. And how we go about doing business. And from what you guys have been showing me and everything that we've been working through, have been just very easy to work with. Very, I would say, enterprise driven, and running your operation like an enterprise. So,
Yeah,
cool.
appreciate that. Love
Yeah,
what you guys have built as well. But I say you guys, but I've got a monk, so I'm a monk too. Love what we've built.
That's true. That's true. And I see you everywhere because you're always supporting us. And
Trying to.
yeah, and so it's great, but I will tell you that there is a cadence to all this. This audience will continue to grow the more that we come out and share what we're doing. I am gonna start, I think right about now is where I start making some decisions about where I'm putting some money and hanging out. And I know I've got some other things that we're working on for monks here that it's coming out. So there's just gonna be a lot of activity happening. And I'm really, really excited to have you guys a part of it. But I look forward to keeping this thing moving forward and doing this more frequently. So, I'm going to try to have Stag set another community update here, and we don't need an hour. Maybe we could do 30 minutes. And yeah,
yeah, definitely. Sorry to I do ramble. Maybe I'll skip the next one. I'll just listen. We'll let Zeke and Sam do the update.
No, it's important. In fact, if you guys haven't noticed, like I love telling stories, but unfortunately I do have a hard stop today. We're doing community updates over at Splinterland, so I have to hop over there now and do a presentation in front of their whole executive team, which is terrifying. I didn't know I had to do this, by the way. I just found out late last night, and they're like, "Hey, do you have slides to present to everybody?" I'm like, "What the fuck are we presenting?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, our thing is tomorrow, and we got to get running on it." But it is all good because this is what I was holding out for most of the day, and I just want everybody to know that basically here's the partnership, right? These guys are working hard to provide alpha for their group, and what they're doing is they're offering us access to these things. Really, they're just trying to show us that this is how it works, right? And so with that, obviously. We're kind of taking advantage of this opportunity, and we're trying to work with these guys to build markets, and they know that we know how to do this stuff as a group. So it's, it's something to be respected. And also too, they have a lot of connections and a lot of well thought out plans for implementing community raises. And I think we're going to be doing a lot of that as well. So it's actually really, really cool to see. I would say our processes are all pretty similar in the way that we approach things. And it's interesting to see how well that kind of just lines up. But yeah, I mean, it's it's hard to
Yeah,
find good
definitely.
people. It's hard to find good
Yeah.
people to work with.
I think that sums it
So
up. Like, you guys have taken the time to teach the community the market making education side of things. We now have an opportunity to implement this as two groups, which gives us access to a lot more capital. And even if some of these pre-sale raises, we didn't bump the dollar value on some of these things, if we have two communities pooling money together versus just a few of us trying to scrap together large sums. So it's a win-win for everybody across the board if we can pull this off.
Yeah, well, there's definitely that, but I'll also jump in. So so that's definitely the case. So we have other, like, we work very hard to get these opportunities, and they sort of get better and better because we are the ones that are still grinding out, networking, making connections, even though, like, a lot of the tourist sort of VC sort of setups have dropped away in the bear market. But I do want to say that it's not just about capital in dollar terms, like it's human capital as well. So, like, we're always looking for help. We've got lots of things we work on. You guys are the same. A lot of those things I think can combine, but we're all about giving people, like, purpose and opportunity, and not even just like tagging along with all this cool stuff we've got going on. Like, everyone, all you guys have ideas as well. So float those ideas, have confidence, and we can develop them, and something may come of them, something may not. But for sure, the seed is planted, and eventually, we can build something together. So I guess, just as a general comment, anyone who wants to help out, just reach out, and there's plenty of roles for a varied group of talents.
hell yeah. I wanted to end on a note real quick before I got to bounce because I got to roll here. There's a saying that my dad once told me that I always love, which was, opportunities are like buses. They come and go every 15 minutes. You just need to choose the one that's going to take you where you want to go. All right. We're not going to make the decision of where you want to go, but we're going to be here throwing the fucking opportunities at you guys as much as we can. All right. So just remember that. And it's not just in capital, it's human capital. And they're right. So there's alignment. But anyways, I really, really appreciate it, guys. Unfortunately, I do have to get running. But yeah.
No, that was a good hour, man.
We'll be doing more of this. All right. I will see you guys later.
Thank you very much.